May I come in? Good morning.
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 Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Firstly, congratulations on clearing your exam.
Thank you, sir.
And tell us something about yourself.
So my name is Mohit Gupta. I come from Ajmer district of Rajasthan, from where I have done my initial schooling. Thereafter, I went to Kota for my higher secondary schooling. After that, I have done my BTech in electrical engineering from IIT Kanpur. During my graduation time, I received a job placement offer as a data scientist. But post my graduation, I have decided to work to prepare for civil services, and this is my first attempt.
And this is your first attempt.
Yes, sir.
That's very good. Now you tell me something about Ajmer.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So Ajmer is said to be the cultural capital of Rajasthan. It's I would say that it's very famous for its religious harmony because it has blend of both Islam, Hinduism as well as Jainism and all the major religions. Also, it is part of Smart City project. So infrastructure as well as other public services are developing fast in the Ajmer. So that would be one angle. Apart from that, one more beauty of Ajmer would be it's located in the heartland of Aravlis. It's surrounded by Aravlis on all sides. So it makes for a great tourist spot also.
So do you think that nothing much more can be done in Ajmer? And if you were the district magistrate of the place, what would you do there?
Sir, I think the current scope of development in Ajmer particularly lies in its industrial and service sectors. The economy of Ajmer is, I think, rather unexplored or untapped as of now. Primarily, it has been seen as an appendage of the state capital, Jaipur. So that's why many industries and services are not set up their base. While such resources like Rico Industrial Area or the services belt services areas exist in Ajmer. That would be one thing. Secondly, I would like to work on the pollution issue in Ajmer. The iconic Anasagar Lake has been witnessing huge amounts of pollution and toxic pollutants in it. So that could be one more effort in that direction. Yes.
How about cleanliness? I have visited Ajmer Sharif.
Yes, sir.
And the access and internal is so.
Sir, particularly the area around Ajmer Sharif appears to be too crowded, and that's why it can give that appearance that it's not having that much cleanliness or sanitation. But post 2015 and especially post the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, the cleanliness of the city has improved a lot, especially if you see the common roads and lanes. So those are litter free mostly, and even the civic consciousness is on the rise. So people also take care that they don't unnecessarily litter the road or the such. So.
Okay, good. You are an electrical engineering student.
Yes.
Right. So what was the project that you did in your IIT?
Sir, as part of our academic curriculum, we weren't required as such to do a final year project, but I was involved in a project with one professor wherein we were developing a software for a new 64 angled camera, wherein we need to do the sound mapping for that camera. So I was involved in developing that, how to do that sound mapping of that camera, but that was a personal project rather than a course project as such.
Okay, so why do you think that you should join the civil services?
Yes.
And not continue to work in the area in which you have been educated and the government has spent a lot of money on you?
Yes.
Besides, India is also heading into the industrial revolution,
Yes.
4.0, artificial intelligence, where people like you can contribute much more.
Yes. Certainly, I would say that my domain has a lot of role to play even in the industrial revolution, even in the semiconductor area. And there are a lot of promising opportunities, but my decision to go for civil services was driven by a mix of personal as well as professional factors. The personal factors was that throughout my upbringing, I was raised to be more inclined towards public services by my grandfather, my mother, and the others. So secondly, I believe even when I worked in the private sector, I saw that there was a huge opportunity in terms of financial trajectory. The financial trajectory or the pay structure was better. But the challenges that were there were almost stagnant after you reach a level, let's say in the higher management position or in the higher coding position. But I think with the scope and scale at which the bureaucracy operates, that would be providing me with more challenges, and that would serve as driver for my career. And also, I have a strong belief in this vision of Amrit Kal that next 25 years are going to be very transformative for India. So I think the bureaucracy will be at the center of it. The machinery would be at the center of it. So that's why.
So you think the bureaucracy is the driver?
Yes, sir.
And what about the red tape? You have heard of it?
Red tapeism, sir, I think was an issue, but with increasing focus on e-governance and digitization of documents and offices and rules and procedures not being an impediment to development, I think that is on the wane.
Then why did you take sociology as your main subject and not continue with your background?
So as part of our academic curriculum, we were also required to do humanities and social sciences courses, and the sociology department at IIT Kanpur was very excellent. So I have done around 80 credits in sociology, and personally I was interested in lot of sociological theories, and I felt like this would be much easier to pursue as an optional subject, and so that's why I decided.
All right. Thank you very much.
Mohit,
Yes.
let's understand a little of electrical engineering.
Yes.
State Nyquist criteria.
So no, I'm not aware of that.
You have not read Nyquist criteria?
So I have read, but I'm not able to recall.
Okay. So, an easier one, Kirchhoff's law.
Kirchhoff's law, sir. Kirchhoff's law would be that current entering any node would be equal to the current exiting the node. So that would help us find the various properties of any circuits.
Is that all?
So that is what I
There are
can.
two Kirchhoff's law, current law and voltage law. In any closed loop,
In any, I think the voltage would remain constant at
voltage will be zero, the potential difference will be
potential
zero.
would be zero. Yes.
That's how you solve the network.
Yes.
Recall?
Yes, sir. Now I recall.
So that's why you change over to sociology, yeah?
No, sir. It's just that.
Honestly speaking, Mohit, I'm not convinced with your previous answer.
Okay.
8.6 grade point, 8.6 in electrical engineering from IIT Kanpur, trying to waste all this and aspiring for civil service. Tell us, why do you think you are fit for IAS? What is that you have in you? What is that you have it in you,
Yes.
the others don't have?
So first would be my aptitude for challenges. That's what I said. That I believe that challenges can drive me, and being put in a pressure situation, I think I can perform good. So that would be the first factor. Secondly, I think my objectivity and my inclination for finding reasons and rationale for any situation and taking decisions based on that criteria. So I think these two would be the qualities that make me a good fit.
Okay, what is blue hydrogen?
So blue hydrogen is the hydrogen which is produced from the methane steam reforming process. So,
Only one reforming process, is it?
so that's what I can remember, that when methane is passed through.
How does the hydrogen fuel cell work?
Hydrogen fuel cell works on the principle where the hydrogen is converted into the electrical energy. So what happens?
How? You are an electrical engineer.
So can I get a second?
Yeah, sure. Hydrogen in transport is the key things nowadays. You should be knowing it.
Yes. So I think that could be done through hydrogen combustion. The energy produced could be.
No, it's by electrochemical process. No combustion is involved. Am I right?
Sir, I'll read on it.
Please do.
Yes.
Okay, you play chess.
Yes, sir.
The youngest Indian female grandmaster, who is she?
Youngest Indian female grandmaster would be the recent Vaishali, Vaishali became a grandmaster recently. Currently, we have three grandmaster: Koneru, Harika, and Vaishali. I'm not sure between Vaishali and Koneru who was the youngest.
What about Padmini Raut?
Sir, grandmaster.
Yes, woman grandmaster.
So,
She was an international master earlier.
I am not aware that.
Okay. There were 3 laws passed recently by Parliament,
Yes.
amending major criminal acts.
Yes.
Can you name all 3?
So first would be IPC is now changed to Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita (BNS). CRPC is now changed to Bharatiya Nyaya Sakshya Samhita. And
Sakshya is CRPC.
Yes. Indian Evidence Act is replaced by Bharatiya Sakshya Bill, and CRPC is replaced by it's acronymed as BNSS, Bharatiya Nyaya. I'm forgetting what's the full form of it.
Okay, that will be all from my side now.
Yes.
That will be all from my side.
Okay.
For the
Thank you,
present.
sir.
Sorry.
So, Mohit, tell me something about Ajmer as it has been a center of Islamic
Yes.
Sufism. Tell me something. What is the basic principle of Sufism?
So Sufism is a mystical movement in Islam which tries to move away from the material connections of Islam and sees devotion to the God purely in terms of relation between the devotee and the God. Particularly, if we talk about Ajmer, the Chishti Silsila is very famous, which is famous for its ghazals as well as methods of songs and dances and other performances as to practice devotion towards God. And
Okay. And how it is different from the Sarawardi Silsila?
the Sarawardi Silsila was more closer to the state, if I remember correctly. They were open to accepting the political offices and gifts from the state, but Sufism denounced all these.
But they are the Sufi Silsila. You said that Sufism is about denouncing the materialism.
Yes, sir.
And here you are saying that they are accepting materialism.
Sir, I think or whatever gifts they acquired, Suravardi Silsila, they used to pass it on to their disciples and the needy people. They didn't retain it for themselves.
But you said political relations as well, because if you
Yes,
see, especially the saints of Sarawardi Silsila, they have close connections with, and they have a good interface in the politics of that region as well.
Sir, I think the saints particularly worked as political advisors to the king. So, Suravardi Silsila would offer the advice to the king on the religious as well as civil matters on how the state's rule can be in line with the religious dictums. That would be the role of them as political advisors.
Okay. And apart from that, Rajasthan is known for Rajputs.
Yes, sir.
What are the different clans or descendants of in Rajput? There are different clans who have ruled the different regions of Rajasthan historically. What is, because if you see in the British time, this was referred as Rajputana.
Rajputana, yes, sir. It was called as Rajputana. Sir, but I am not aware of the sub-clans of Rajput. I would need to read about it.
I have heard about the Agni Kund theory, about the origin of the Rajputs.
Sir, as far as I remember, the origin lies in the Hunas and Sakas invasion of India, and then they were Sanskritized to Kshatriya.
Are you played cricket?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the difference between a normal swing ball, be it the in swing or out swing, and a reverse swing?
So the swing principles basically works on how the air flows around the ball. So what happens in a normal swing ball is the shinier side usually the ball swings towards the opposite to the shinier side because on the rougher side the air leaves faster. Therefore, a drag develops towards opposite of the shiny side. But in the reverse swing, the ball is quite old, and that's why the swing is towards the more rougher side. That happens because due to higher turbulence, the swing happens opposite to the more rougher side. That happens because there is higher turbulence and the air leaves the rougher side faster than the.
How this happens? Is the same ball?
No, sir. As the ball gets older, usually by the friction on the ground as well as by its continuous usage, and also by rubbing wear and tear by the players, the ball acquires a shiny side as well as a rough side.
Okay, but when we talk about the swing bowling, and compare Indian cricket with Pakistani cricket,
Yes.
Pakistan have a very good history of producing very good swing bowlers, and even today they have.
Yes.
Why there is no such case in India? We don't have a good legacy of very fast bowlers who have like that of what they had.
Sir, I would answer that, but I would also like to differ a bit that we had great stalwarts like Zahir Khan, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and even Venkatesh Prasad. Earlier we had Jagwal Srinath was a good swing bowler, so we had a history, and even Mohammad Shami and Jasprit Bumrah. They are good bowlers of the current generation. But I think the one difference would be the amount of training which is provided to swing bowling. Swing bowling, right from the time of Wasim Akram, greats like Wasim Akram, there is a huge infrastructure in Pakistan, cricketing infrastructure, which provides that support. But I think even the pitches in India are more spin friendly as compared to Pakistan. So I think that would be one reason.
Okay. Apart from that, you were the part of Hindi literature.
Yes, sir. I was manager for.
What was your responsibility?
Sir, I was responsible for organizing events like we organized Kavi Sammelan, in which we invited Shabina Azmi, and we also invited Wasim Barelvi and a lot of other luminaries. Also, we organized Hindi.
They are all from Urdu literature. They are not from Hindi literature.
Sir, Wasim Barelvi sir also does
What is
poetry.
the basic difference, between a Kavi Sammelan and Mushaira? We organized a Kavi Sammelan or a Mushaira?
Sir, we organized a Kavi Sammelan. I'm not sure what the technical difference would be, but one thing that I could say from an organizing viewpoint would be the type of seating arrangement that we adopt in Mushaira versus that we adopt in Kavi Sammelan. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Continuing with Hindi Sahitya,
Yes.
what is the reason that Hindi Sahitya is not at par with the literature of other developed languages? We have very few writers
Yes.
who are very well recognized. What is the reason? Why there is no much writing is taking place in Hindi?
Sir, we have had a rich tradition of Hindi literature wherein we have greats of Chayawad era as well. We have great.
There
We
is the
have
past, present, modern.
Sir, present tradition. I think it would be lack of recognition rather than the quantity or the quality of the literature which is being produced. Recently, Ret Ki Samadhi was which it acquired international fame and it garnered international attention. So I don't think there is a dearth of rich literature, but I think with the growing prevalence of English among the youths, the popularity of Hindi literature is on the decline.
Do you mean to say there is a dearth of Hindi readers?
Hindi readers, the popularity and the appeal is
That is
losing.
the cause that people who want to write, they can't get good payment. That
Sir,
is why they
because
don't
there
write.
would be no audience and publishers, there would be lesser
So
incentive.
what should be done as a lover of Hindi
Yes, sir.
literature? What you suggest?
Sir, firstly, what we had done as part of my student team was we organized Hindi Pakwadas, and also we organized discussion sessions, simple discussion sessions around Hindi literature, wherein we would pick up some stories or pick up some poems and we would discuss on them. But on a larger scale, I think government efforts of 3-language formula, as well as initiating initial education in Hindi language, as well as I think more could be done in terms of providing support to the younger authors. If we provide support to the younger authors in terms of financial incentive as well as publishing incentive, I think a good amount of literature could be produced out of that.
Okay, I leave it that. You have talked of Amrit Kal.
Amrit Kal, yes, sir.
Okay. Now Amrit Kal is say 23 next
Yes,
20 years till 2047.
yes,
Now we are talking big.
yes,
We will become a developed country,
yes,
but it's a very far-reaching goal.
yes, sir.
You tell me what are the challenges and pitfalls
Yes, sir.
to stumble that our race to
To becoming a developed country.
yes. What
Sir-
are the challenges we have to face?
So first would be in terms of quantitative terms, becoming a developing country means crossing that 11,000 per capita landmark with global headwinds, and we are seeing that there are black swan events occurring very frequently with global wars raging and traditional supply chains being disrupted. Achieving 11 to 12% real growth rate could be the first challenge. Second would be to ensure that our population would also grow at quite a rapid pace. So we would need to ensure that the growth which happens is not top heavy, that actually the lower sections of the society do get the benefits of it. So social security would also provide a challenge to us in that respect. Third would be the inclusivity aspect of it. We need to ensure that it's not just the services-led
See,
growth.
we have lot of we say cheap labor, but we have unskilled labor.
Yes, sir. That's
We are lacking skilled labor. Many high-tech industries think twice to come to India
yes.
because of the lack of skilled laborers.
Yes.
What should be done in that area?
Sir, I think firstly we would need to create gradations in terms of what types of skilling can be done. We need to demarcate the sectors that where we need semi-skilled laborers, where we need skilled laborers, and where we need highly skilled laborers. Government is already running PM Vishwakarma Yojana as well as under National Rural Livelihood Mission, and National Skill Development Corporation has also been established to train the youth. So I think first would be to tap the youth in order and to establish the vocational training infrastructure so that they can be provided the relevant skill. Secondly, a PPP model could be adopted, sir. I believe that private players also have a stake in this. They would also be benefited from a high skill rate.
So coming to private players, now government is spending huge amounts on infrastructure. Government capex is rising,
Yes, sir.
but private capex is not matching up.
Yes, sir. Correct.
So how to bring the private money into this system?
Yes.
People here invest in property and gold.
Yes.
Nobody invests in the market.
Yes, sir.
Like the money comes in the market, in the private hands, and they can generate wealth.
Yes.
Gold does not generate wealth.
Yes.
So how to change that mindset?
Sir, with respect, are you asking with respect to the bigger corporations or the
Because
retail?
corporation, people, saving rate, everything includes.
Sir, I think with respect to the retail investors, the instruments such as REITs and invites would be a good step because they also encourage small investments up to 50,000 also. That could attract the investor. Secondly, I think there could be some sovereign guarantee associated to the returns invested with attached with these instruments. For bigger players, I think we need to develop more on our PPP model with hybrid annuity models and recent other innovative models coming up. And we have also seen private investment being picked up in infrastructure. It's also picking up in renewable energy and other domains. So I think we need to incentivize and ensure that whatever private capital is being invested, because usually the infrastructure as well as it's a long term return instrument. So we would need some sovereign guarantee behind that to incentivize people to invest in that.
Okay, thank you.
So, Mohit, your optional is sociology.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Do you believe that the value system in our country is diminishing?
Sir, I think it's undergoing a transformation rather than diminishing. As Professor Yogendra Singh has also said that we are having a type of neo-traditionalism running parallel with modernity. So we are also imbibing modern values, but I think at the same time, the traditional values are not going anywhere. They're just transforming. I would like to just give an example that even with the nuclear households increasing, the traditional family spirit and the jointness of the family is still preserved. So I think it's undergoing a transformation rather than diminishing.
Can you name two values
Yes, sir.
which have diminished, if any?
So first would be the patriarchal nature. I think that has undergone, that has drastically declined with increasing participation. Secondly, would be the caste mentality or the caste rigidities, caste identities that we have. With substantialization of caste and emergence of new market dynamics, caste has undergone a lot of decline, sir.
Right. So, sociology is study of human behaviors.
In a social sense.
It has a transactional relationship with other disciplines as well.
Yes.
Can you name other disciplines with which it has same relationship as it tries to study the human behavior? Any other
So
discipline?
psychology would be there, but psychology is primarily the study of brain and how it functions.
Mhm.
Second would be the anthropology. Anthropology also we share the connections, but then again anthropology is more concerned about the biological evolution as well as about the primitive society, whereas sociology essentially talks about in the present in a modern context or in a more advanced society, complex society. Apart from psychology and anthropology, I think when we talk about economic behavior, we also see a lot of similarities. While the economics explain it in terms of quantitative variable, we tend to see like the Veblen has said in terms of institutional economics, we tend to factor in the social factors also. So I think these three would be the disciplines.
Wonderful. You earlier said that bureaucracy is going to be the centerpiece
Yes.
for the development that is going to happen in the Amrit Kaal.
Yes, sir.
My question is, where do you put entrepreneurship?
Yes. Sir, I think entrepreneurship would be the driver of the economic growth and also the driver of inclusivity. With the booming, I would like to give an example of India as well as Singapore. Both the countries have a booming startup culture. And in the Singapore, what they have been able to achieve is they have been able to attract the best talents of every sections of the society. But in India, we are seeing that entrepreneurship is mostly service-led. It's mostly in the tertiary sector, and usually there are more startups in one, like let's say food delivery platforms or maybe money transaction platforms. There are more startups, but at the same time there is a dearth of startups in agriculture or social service. So I think entrepreneurship, if combined with the social responsibility, can be the driver of economic growth as well as social growth, sir.
Last question.
Yes.
Three things that the world can learn from India for peace and prosperity. Name three things.
So first would be our Panchsheel principles. that are a cardinal principle of our foreign policy that the world can learn from us. Second would be this resilience. Like we can see resilience in terms of Indian attitudes. We can see resilience in terms of Indian economic structure. And third would be our adaptability or our acceptability to change. We have seen multiple headwinds like during 1970, right from 1947 to 2023, we have seen a lot of transformation, but we have readily adapted to it. And I think these three would be the three things that world can learn from us.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.